What's up, YouTube? I got a quick video for you. I put a motor on my paddleboard. This is a Tom Carroll paddle surf. I got it for a real good deal. I had a customer owe me some money and said if I wanted a paddleboard they'd give it to me, but that's beside the fact. What the secret to this is I found the smallest little trolling motor I've ever seen. It is really little, and it's got one bolt on it instead of two to mount it on, and it mounts onto something fairly large. So basically I took a deep cycle 12 volt battery, put it right here. I put a ratchet strap around it to hold it to the board, and then I put this on the back. It's a little hard to steer, so what I'm going to be doing is extending this handle much longer out to here, where I can stand where I need to on the board and steer it. And this actually leans down to the side, so that way the motor is right underneath the center of the boat. So if I put the handle out to here, I can go up and down with it, and it would actually steer the boat pretty good. So let me get the camera and I'll show you a little close-up of it. This is the trolling motor. It is a ESCA electric outboard motor, probably 20 years old, I don't know, 10 years old. It's a 3-speed 12 volt trolling motor, super small. Model number 18060B. My brother had this laying in the yard and probably been there for 5 years and never been used, and there's no telling where he picked it up from, but it is the coolest little thing that I've ever seen in a trolling motor. As you can see, I've got multiple trolling motors, and I've actually put these on here before. I've even put a foot control on here before, but it requires some kind of way to mount them, because it doesn't really go onto the front of the board real well, and they're a lot heavier, and on a paddle board less weight is better, and it really weighs down the back. So I got a smaller battery, and this is actually a deep cycle solar battery, if you can see that, which worked extremely well. It's a 12 volt 35 amp hour, really good battery. But I used that, and then it worked all day out there at the beach. And if you stay tuned, you'll see on a video, I've got a short video of me actually out on the water, and you can see this thing in action. But the cool thing is whenever this goes down, it puts the prop almost right into the middle on the bottom of the boat. And then when I stand up towards the front of the paddleboard here, it really levels out and it takes off like a rocket. But during the video you'll see that I had to stay to the back to be able to steer it, so it puts the tail end kind of down in the water and it doesn't ride as good. So if I can get this extended to where I can stand over here in the center of the board, and with a long handle on that I could stand up and actually just go up and down like this with it, it would in turn do this, and believe it or not, that steers, it will do this, and believe it or not, that steers the paddleboard quite well. Even though it's not exactly turning left to right like this, but like this it works really well. And it stayed off my fin. If you can see the fin down there, it stayed off of it, and it worked. I mean, me and my son rode around for a while on this thing, and it's just a ton of fun. But here, I'll show you how it works. So here you go, forward and reverse. And if I can get a good connection on the battery here, there we go. And then it even has a high, medium, low. So we'll go in forward, and I don't know if you can see that. And that's medium, and that's high, medium, and low. Crazy, on the camera it looks like the blade is going faster when it's in low. I think that's because the camera can actually keep up with it, I don't know. Pretty cool. But this thing's super small, lightweight, and if you're looking to you know, just put a little something to help you out on the paddleboard, this is a perfect candidate, because it doesn't really affect the weight of the paddleboard and how much weight you have on it. See, I'm 170 pounds, so with a smaller battery in this little thing, it really doesn't affect how the paddleboard rides as long as I'm able to stand where I need to be on the paddleboard. So if you're looking for something to go out and play on your paddleboard, this is probably the simplest setup I've ever seen. Ideally, I would like to take this and detach it from here, and I would make a bracket to where I could actually mount it right underneath the bottom of the boat down here, probably right in this area, and then run my wires and have my battery up here to where you eliminate all of this, and basically just this part right here will be mounted up under here. And as far as steering goes, I would just use the paddle to you know, you could stick the paddle in the water to deflect and steer the paddleboard. Otherwise, you could probably put a fin on here. You could put a fin on here that turns going this way, and that would also steer quite well. And maybe I'll do something like that in the future. That's actually a really good idea. That's probably exactly what I'll do. I will put a flap on the back here that I could go around here. I'll put a flap around here that I could turn like this, a fin to deflect the water. And I'm just going to mount this on a bracket right directly to the bottom of the board down here in front of the fin, and that would be probably the perfect setup. And that way the motor doesn't go lower than the fin, so when I'm going out of the water I won't have to worry about the motor hitting the ground, because it'll be right here, and it'll push the water directly to the fin with a steering fin on the back here. And that's probably exactly what I'm going to do. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you want to see the full version of this when it's completed, hit that bell and get notifications of my videos. And I appreciate you watching, and if you want to see some more cool stuff, check out my channel. I'm working on improving my content, and I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. That's my son floating in the water. This is my paddleboard, and what I have set up is a battery and a itty bitty trolling motor, and it works like a champ. Hello. You can see the setup here. It's this little battery, and I put a little trolling motor on it. It works great. It's got a high, medium, low, and then forward and reverse. So I can go in reverse and go that way. Uh-oh. The salt water doesn't help with the battery though. And there we go. Then we're going to go back to forward. Oh, my rope down there is getting hung up in it. That's what it is. As you can see, we are moving. Oh, we're really moving now. There we go. It really takes off whenever I get on the front of the board. But in order to hold the camera where you can see, I got to get on the back of the board, and it makes the back of the board go lower, so it won't go as fast. But if I get up to the front, I've got to have some way to hold this up to there. Then it really goes a lot faster. But I'll do another video on land and show you a little bit of the setup and show you how I done it. Thanks for watching.